Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please hit the subscribe. Now this start video. A heartfelt high-stakes return in Season 13, Episode 13, Born of Fire. If you're a Chicago Fire fan, you know this show has a way of tugging at your heartstrings while keeping you on the edge of your seat. Season 13, Episode 13, titled Born of Fire, was no exception. Packed with emotional moments, character growth, and the kind of drama that makes you yell at your TV, this episode was a roller coaster of feels. So grab a cup of coffee, or something stronger. We're looking at you, Herman, and let's dive into the nitty-gritty of what went down. Let's start with the couple we all adore, Stella Kidd and Kelly Severide, aka Stellaride. These two have been through the ringer, but their love story remains one of the most compelling parts of the show. In this episode, the topic of starting a family took center stage. Stella isn't quite ready for pregnancy, but she brought up the idea of adoption, a conversation that felt both tender and realistic. It's a big step, and you could see the weight of it in her eyes as she broached the subject with Severide. What's beautiful about this storyline is how relatable it is. Starting a family isn't just about picking out baby names or decorating a nursery. It's about emotional readiness, trust, and shared dreams. Stella's hesitation isn't a lack of love. It's a sign of how deeply she cares about doing this right. And Severide, he's all in, as always, but you can tell he's processing the idea too. It's a delicate dance, and the writers nailed it. Later in the episode, Sylvie Brett, our favorite paramedic-turned-adoption advocate, recommended an adoption agency to Stellaride. While this conversation happened off-camera, it's clear that the wheels are in motion. Could we see a little Severide kid running around Firehouse 51 in the future? Fingers crossed. Sam Carver's journey has been one of the most raw and real arcs this season. Struggling with his drinking problem, Carver took a huge step by attending a meeting to confront his demons. This isn't just about sobriety. It's about self-forgiveness and finding a way forward. And let's be honest, Carver's vulnerability is a side of him we don't often see, but it's one that makes him all the more human. But here's the twist. The guy Carver leaned on for support. Yeah, he turned out to be a total disaster. After getting arrested for drunken, disorderly behavior, he impersonated Carver, causing chaos and putting Violet McCamey in danger. More on that in a sec. It was a harsh reminder that recovery isn't linear, and sometimes the people you trust can let you down in the worst ways. Still, Carver's resilience shines through. By the end of the episode, he's at Molly's with the crew, even if he looks about as comfortable as a fish out of water. It's a small step, but it's progress. And let's not forget the lingering question. Could a relationship with Violet be on the horizon? Not yet. She's still tangled up with her lawyer guy. But the chemistry between Carver and Violet is undeniable. Stay tuned. Speaking of Violet, she had her hands full in this episode. First, she spent the night with her lawyer friend. We see you, Violet. But things took a serious turn when she got involved in a case involving a former CFD paramedic, Jared Lennox. The guy was being sued for administering drugs in the field, and Violet's expertise was crucial in clearing his name. But here's the kicker. Violet and Lennox have history. When he showed up at Firehouse 51, it was clear there was more to the story. At first, Violet didn't believe his claims of innocence. After all, Lennox has a reputation for playing fast and loose with protocols. But as the episode unfolded, she realized he was telling the truth. Her testimony ultimately saved his career, proving once again that Violet is a force to be reckoned with. Of course, Violet's personal life wasn't all smooth sailing. The guy who impersonated Carver, he broke into her house and verbally assaulted her. It was a terrifying moment, but thankfully, Carver arrived in time to stop things from escalating. This incident could be a turning point for Violet, forcing her to reevaluate her relationships and priorities. Will she lean on Carver for support, or will she double down on her independence? Only time will tell. Ah, Herman, the heart and soul of Firehouse 51. This episode gave us a glimpse into his future plans, and let's just say, retirement might not be as far off as we thought. Herman's been talking about expanding Molly's, possibly turning it into a chain. But first, he wants to create a signature drink that'll make the bar a destination hotspot. Can we get a Herman-inspired cocktail, please? Maybe something called the Fire Chief. But here's the thing. Herman's also feeling the pressure from Mouch, who's worried he's pushing him too hard to aim for a chief position. Herman's response: a subtle hint that he might be closer to retirement than anyone realizes. It's a bittersweet moment, reminding us that even the most steadfast characters have to face the passage of time. If this is the beginning of the end for Herman, we're not ready. Not even close. Speaking of Mouch, it was great to see him back in action after his absence during the crossover episodes. He's been home taking care of his wife, Trudy, and it's clear that family comes first for him. But even from the sidelines, Mouch's influence is felt. His concern for Herman's future shows just how much he cares about his Firehouse 51 family. Mouch might not always be in the spotlight, but he's the glue that holds this crew together. Of course, no Chicago Fire episode would be complete without some heart-pounding action. This time, the crew responded to a call at an adventure park where a woman was stranded on a high wire. Severide jumped into action, literally, leading the rescue with his signature calm under-pressure demeanor. It was a reminder of why we love this show. The stakes are always high, and the heroes always deliver. Later, Kid asked Severide to recreate the wire rescue scenario for Girls on Fire, her mentorship program for young women. It's moments like these that highlight the show's commitment to empowering stories and strong female characters. And let's not forget Joe Cruz, who was back on duty after his 2-week suspension. His willingness to help with the Girls on Fire program shows just how much Firehouse 51 is a family. As the episode wrapped up, it left us with plenty of questions. Will Stellaride take the leap into parenthood? Can Carver stay on the path to sobriety? Will Violet and Carver finally give in to their chemistry? And what's next for Herman? Retirement, a chain of Molly's bars, or both? One thing's for sure. Chicago Fire continues to deliver the perfect blend of heart, humor, and high-stakes drama. This episode reminded us why we fell in love with these characters in the first place. They're flawed, they're human, and they're doing their best to navigate life's challenges. One fire, one rescue, and one heartfelt conversation at a time. So, here's to Firehouse 51. May they keep saving lives, stealing our hearts, and giving us all the feels for many more seasons to come. And hey, if Herman ever creates that signature drink, we'll be first in line to try it. Cheers.